Broch and we're off. Welcome to She Said Let's, where we chat the tricks and treats of the business of film and TV, shine a light on women who've empowered us, and dish on plot twists we just had to say let's to.
Well, in today's episode, we will be doing something a little bit different. Why, you ask? Because Kay's birthday is coming up. So we're bringing in almost Libra season with an episode all about the ketchup to my mustard right here, Miss Kay Broch.
I must say that selfishly, I wanted my birthday app to be our 27th app because I was born on September 27th. I am a Virgo moon, so I feel a particular bond with anyone born in September. And I know this is coming out during the end of Virgo season, but it still, it still applies to me because of that. So, which I must add to this, in all the episodes that we've had, no one is a Libra. We got everyone's birthdays. Not one Libra have we had.
You're right. No, we haven't had a Libra yet. We've had mostly Leos. Which makes sense for like actors, I feel like more so. A lot of Sag.
No, I think only one.
No, there's like 2 or 3. All right, well.
I know, but anywho, it is my episode, so we will be partaking in some of my favorite activities throughout this episode. One being drinking margaritas, and we also have more surprises to come. We did do our Del Taco. This is like a pineapple mango situation with little, like almost like boba, like popper
it's like
things.
A popping boba.
Yeah, but then we added tequila. So fun.
Tequila.
Yes.
Na.
Hannah wore that shirt specifically for me, which I love. I love tequila.
And it's yellow.
Yeah, of course. Perfect.
So you guys will all get to see me struggle to drink because I'm much more, I think we all know this by now, I am a stoner. I'm much more of a weed person than a drinker. As you know, you saw in my birthday episode that just was out in the like beginning of August.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I often throw up on the floor around many bars because I feel like I've talked about that a lot on this podcast whenever I take shots. But for Kay, because she's insisted that we do one before we start the episode, I am going to be taking one for the team and doing a shot with her on camera so you all can see my reaction. I really hope I don't throw up.
You aren't going to. It's fine.
And I do,
because this is the best shot that there is. It is my favorite shot, which I think I actually found it through social media or something, maybe like Instagram or something like that. But it is my own version of a Mexican candy shot where you use one of these little tamarindo things. They like push up. Well, we'll show when we do it, but there's like candy under here that you push up, and it's perfect because if you turn it around, this is like a perfect shot glass. So here we go. Let me put this down for a second so I'm not spilling all over the place. Jesus, let's see if I can do all of this at one time. So the first thing you're going to do is you take the cap off. Okay. Put the cap down. And you are going to take these little things on the side and you're going to push up so that you can see there's like some nonsense of the candy will come out of this little thing. It looks kind of gross, honestly, but it is very good, I promise. Okay, so you push that shebang up to get it out of there. And then you can turn it around like this and it won't fall or anything. The candy will stay there.
It's like a Dairy Queen blizzard, but not.
Right. I was like, where? What? What?
Because you flip it over and it won't fall.
It will give you a small one. Okay. You actually have a smaller thing than me too. Good. Okay. So. All right. So you're going to take the shot, and then immediately after you take the shot, you're going to lick/eat the candy to cover up the shot. Okay? So here we go. Cheers. Oh,
wait. Cheers.
Okay, I'm scared.
I'm terrified. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots.
Once the candy gets in, it's better. Take more candy, bitch. Yum.
That really does make it better. Oh yeah, there was definitely still tequila left in there. I didn't take the full shot. Some
Oh,
spilled
you
on me.
spilled all over, all over your lap.
This is gonna be a messy episode.
Your paperwork is all over the place here. Ooh, there's stuff in here. Don't mind if I do.
Okay, while you're licking that, before we get a little tipsy, I need to do this segment first. We're going to get a little bit uncomfy here by doing an activity that Kay does every year at the end of the year, but with a twist, because I will now write a love letter to you, or I've already written one, but now I'm going to read it to you.
Right, I'm nervous. And anyone who knows me knows that I secretly love being complimented, but also hate it and will not respond well to them usually. I'll just be all in my feels with them later and then recall every word you told me, but you won't be able to tell it affects me in the moment. So if I seem like I am a stone cold bitch during this, that is because I am processing. So let's see if the listeners can spot anything as I take this all in. You know?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I was born ready.
I was born ready.
I was born.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay. Dearest Kay, you beautiful bitch, you. Where do I even start? Whether we're sitting on the couch, getting high, or dancing on tables in another country, I know I can always count on you to either laugh with me until we cry or break all the rules with no care in the world. You are one of, if not the most down bitch I know. I say jump, you say how high, while also thinking of the logical long term effects of what said delinquency may be. You are the saving grace I need more than half the time. And you always have the right words to say when I'm self sabotaging or having one of my annual mentee bees. I love that you call me out on my weird antics all while joining in or roasting me in the process. And this may be kind of contradictory, but your dark sense of humor is a shining light. You may have a tough exterior, an RBF, if you will, and your humor may not make sense to everyone, but I'm so lucky to be able to see you for you, the generous, passionate, most hardworking person who cares so deeply about the people she loves. Being your friend is an honor that I will never take for granted. I remember the first time we really bonded. It was Halloween. You were dressed as a hot Cheeto. I was dressed as a beat up Wilma Flintstone, and we talked for what felt like. And I had
an interesting costume. Also,
we talked for what felt like an eternity, but also no time at all about our individual entertainment careers, where we wanted to be, what we wanted to do, where our passions lied, etc. And for the first time in a long time, I felt understood, heard, and motivated to just keep going. You have taught me to not take shit from anyone, to remember to put myself first, and to never, ever, ever settle for anything less than what I deserve. Watching you grow over the years and being able to grow alongside you is a privilege. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds for you. And I can't wait to be right next to you, pushing you to the finish line on this crazy ride of life. I will always be one of your biggest fans. And I promise to always keep your head on straight and ensure you know just how much of a badass bitch you are, even when you don't think that of yourself. I love you, bitch. And I'm going to scream it from the rooftops.
Wow. Go up there.
Go.
Get up there. Get up there now. All right, the episode's over. We have to go on a break.
And that's all.
Wow, it's gorge. Gorge, babe.
Gorge, babe.
Now that all of our paperworks are wet.
We're already throwing paper.
Fuck this script.
Fuck
We're
it.
going off script today, guys. I
Put
told
it in
you
the
it was
trash
gonna be
bag.
told you it was going to be a wild episode. We are back with I'm a blank, where we choose a movie or TV show and decide which character we are and the backstory of why.
Because it's Kay's week, we'll be doing the dark and hilarious comedy Dave, which features one of the loves of Kay's life, Dave Bird, aka Lil Dicky. It has a million quirky characters to pull from, as some of the actors actually play a version of themselves in a way, or a version of someone in Dave's real life.
Sorry, my hair is looking a little.
I'm like seeing you watching yourself just. Hold on, I gotta fix
I swear I
this.
have so much more volume than these headphones are allowing.
No,
Look at this. Oh my god!
This
Wait,
is also
look
like
in the wait. Oh, look at how weird my head looks when I do that.
well, yeah, because you're pushing out the poof of the hair.
No, but did you
Also,
see
your
the?
hair's never this voluminous whenever you have these headphones on.
You think?
Whenever you crimp it like this, no, it's
because
never.
it's because I just did it. But you think it's because it knows that it's my episode?
Probably.
I knew it. Well, good for my hair
The
then.
hair can hear all things.
Well, back to Dave. I'm actually going to call out Dan Clermont here, which is the person that actually introduced both of us together. Well, maybe not introduce.
Kind of.
That's yeah. We became closer because he would hang out with you and whatever, and Sydney and whatever. So I'm going to give him credit for introducing me to Little Dicky many a year ago, before Dave ever existed. So when he was still struggling to sell the show and get people to take him seriously as a comedian and not just like, I don't know if this is a word, satiristic rapper. I don't know. It was giving me an air when I was in.
I don't think that's a word. Satiristic,
like satire, but I want to like describe something as satire, but I want it satiristic. I don't know.
It can be a word today.
I'm using it.
Yeah.
So once he showed me that dorky Jewish boy, I fell in love with how smart and quirky his lyrics were and his cadences were. I of course watched every single video that like had him in it, an interview of him that I could. So when Dave actually came out, I was already full of anticipation and thoroughly obsessed with him. And I think it will come as no surprise to find out that I am Dave Bird.
Wow.
Yeah. So if anybody that knows me beyond like just seeing me out or whatever it is knows that I am incredibly introspective. Even as a kid, I was, which I think makes me seem more serious than I actually. Well, I guess I am very serious, but I don't appear serious.
I feel like people can also get that from Helen's episode where we literally showed your drawings as a child.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so go watch Helen's episode. But I always wanted to know like the why of everything and also why I was the way that I was, which is what a lot of these segments come from in the first place. And also how it could be different from everybody else. I just wasn't like into being the same. And I've always had like an innate storytelling gene, maybe because of my dad, who is one of the funniest storytellers I know, but is also incredibly neurotic. Like he will literally things just annoy him to no end. Simple stuff like his favorite cookie being discontinued, or slow people that he's around, or dumb people. He thinks most people are dumb, honestly. And so I think a lot of that rubbed off on me. I used to think it was funny when I was younger. I was like, you're always so mad about everything, and now I'm like low key mad about everything as well. So Dave is irritated by a lot of things, and he often thinks he can do stuff better than other people around him. He also has like this false confidence outwardly that I can relate to, while simultaneously, the tequila shot got to me. Simultaneously, sweating, she says. It's the tequila shirt. It's seeping through. It's the cotton is full of tequila, soaked, going into your pores. Simultaneously, he is very insecure about what he's actually accomplishing in life. I don't think he's like an insecure person about like who he is, but just like what he's done, which I think many artists can relate to. I wrote a Dave spec a couple years back, and if you listen to what is it, Emily's episode, I think we read like the beginning of it in K Na.
I think so.
Right? Yeah. And so I studied the first season and watched it more than I can even remember. Honestly, could tell you literally scene by scene pretty much because I broke them all down. However, since then, my ritual is at midnight when it releases on Hulu, when new episodes are coming out or whatever. I watch every episode twice in a row. So I do this to watch for enjoyment once and then watch for relatability the second time. So the second watch, I almost always cry when I'm watching this. And then I cannot sleep that night because my mind is just like a going, swirling around, analyzing all the things that like Dave does. And a lot of tendencies that rock me are the self sabotaging ones that he does, which we've talked about a little bit on the pod. In season 3, I like I watched this one more than I can even tell you, and now I can't even tell you which episode it is. But in season 3, Dave's friends and family, I think it might be the last episode actually. But anyways, they talk about his perfectionism and like his control freak tendencies in a documentary that Emma makes. And it's almost difficult for me to watch because I see little me like weighing options of things just like he does, even just when deciding like which toy to get at the store, which I'm like, it feels like kind of wild that a little kid would be stressing out so much and like being like, well, this one's better this way and this one's better that way, but I can use this for this way. And it's like, well, you're 5. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Wild. And so no stone left unturned is what he keeps like saying. And I fear that I may travel the world turning over stones, all the stones, and still never find what I'm actually looking for. And so his friends also talk about how hard it is to work for him. And I'm sure Hannah can attest to this, although she doesn't work for me. We work together. But I'm very particular about how things look, sound, the purpose of something, what it can be used for. Like I try and think about like all of these things rather than just like jumping in and being like, this just seems fun. Let's do it. Like I don't do stuff for
No,
fun.
the logical side of her brain kicks in. And honestly, I think that's more helpful than anything in any situation. But I think for you, it can be like a double edged sword almost.
Yeah, I mean, it drives me crazy because I'll think about it like constantly, but I think it does help me in the long run. It just like mentally does not help me
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
lot of the time. And so yeah, everything is like to accomplish something for not only myself, but in the hopes of like helping other people. And I think Dave's friends do end up saying though at the end that their proximity to him has also like made them become better at what they wanted to do. And also because he wouldn't let them be mediocre, they become like the best versions of themselves, even if it's very annoying at the time. He sees something in them, and I think he won't like accept anything less than that potential that he sees in somebody else. And I would like to think that those around me would also say the same thing. I think Hannah just kind of said it in the love
I
letter a
can
little bit.
attest. Yes.
Yeah,
I did. I think I did say that in the love letter.
I
Pretty, I
know.
mean, not those words exactly, but
Right,
that's pretty much the point that I was getting at.
right.
Yeah.
So, lastly, which has been exemplified even just in my answer, but people think I'm like this like silly, sarcastic, like comedian type. And I often feel like sometimes I'm just like meant to be a jester for others' enjoyment. Um, However, I'm a very deep and dark person. And I think that shocks people sometimes to know that about me. Of course, many of the listeners already know that because I talk about that kind of stuff in here, but the entirety of Dave thus far has been showing us just that about someone who literally calls himself Little Dicky, that he is actually a very dark and deep person as well. So, what about you?
Well, so I'm back to picking not just one, but two people. So this this series is such a great series with a lot of really diverse characters. So honestly, it was pretty hard for me to go in and pick just one person for this. But ultimately, I landed on Gata and Els. Gata is Dave's hype man / rapper, which we all know that my karaoke song is My Band by D12. So naturally, I am just a rapper in general. And I feel like I'm constantly the hype man for my friends. If anybody's down or just like not feeling good in the moment about themselves, I'm usually the first person to get the call and be like, how do I get out of my head? How do I fix this? And as Kay is putting more tequila in her
It
drink.
wasn't a lot in there, okay? I have to drink some of it before I could add more.
True,
She
I
is the
drank
hype.
more than mine.
She is the yeah, you did. She is the hype.
I am the
She's
hype man.
She's hyping me up as I'm putting this tequila in here right now.
Well, the next thing I was going to say is, therefore, I am the friend hype man. He also is so in his own head a lot of the time that Dave has to be the one to hype Gata up. So, similar to Kay and I's relationship, where if one is falling short on themselves, the other's there to pick them back up and remind them that they're bad bitches. So, he's there to pick up Dave when he falls and he brings out his confidence, and Dave is also there to pick him up whenever he's falling short. And then for Els, he also kind of has a hard time putting himself out there and believing in himself and his producing abilities. I often, again, get in my own head about pursuing something in an industry that's so hard to break into and also have a hard time putting myself out there. Again, which is where Kay and I's relationship kind of comes in hand because like I said in the love letter, she's taught me to stand up for myself and taught me to like not take shit from anyone, actually stand up for what I believe in and push myself to, I guess, I don't want to say necessarily be a better person, but in a sense, be a better person to myself.
Yeah.
And he uses humor in a lot of situations, whether that's to like lighten a situation on his own or to help Dave, which is also something I turn to. I am always like trying to flip the switch and make it like a funny thing rather or like a happy thing rather than a negative thing, because if you keep putting the negative shit out there, only negative shit's going to come back to you, and if you put positive shit out there, positive shit's going to come back to you. So
And when you're a part of like a crew like that, when you're constantly putting negative shit out there, like affects everyone.
right,
So
it doesn't just affect you. So that's why I kind of feel like I relate to both Els and Gata, because they have a lot of similarities but a lot of differences, because one suffers from bipolar disorder, the other one does not. I also do not suffer from bipolar disorder. I just am ADHD. So that's
and have anxiety.
anxiety and depression. Cheers me, bitch.
Oh, I thought you were just showing. I was like, yeah.
Cheers. Cheers.
Have you ever looked at yourself when you're just drinking out of a straw like that?
I didn't that time.
Because I keep doing it. Looks awful.
Oh
It
no,
looks
don't
so
tell me
gross.
that, because now I'm gonna keep watching myself while I drink out of a straw.
Literally, well, at least I don't. I look awful. My face gets like real long and strange. Gives you like a double chin. There's not enough tequila in this. All I can
Are
taste.
you sure?
All I can taste are the poppers. They keep.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
that's
because
why.
they're at the bottom. You're sucking them all up.
Oh, maybe that's why my mouth looks weird, because it's like.
Yeah, you got all these fucking balls in your
Yeah.
mouth just popping away.
Well, before we get started on this next segment, we are going to do a little smoky smoke because I also like to smoke weed. However, I just, it's not like my main boo.
No, but now everybody gets to see how we react
So
on like
crossfade.
your birthday trips versus mine, because I'm usually just stoned the whole time on mine, where on yours we love a crossfade.
Yes, we do.
Brings me
Mostly
back.
at night, but here we are.
Right. But it brings me back to Cabo, which the listeners don't know this yet, but we are going on a fun little birthday trip for Kay this year in another place in Mexico, which we will talk about on a later episode.
Yes, and I will be talking about my birthdays of years past in a little bit.
So, everybody, take a little smoke break. Get a little high with us.
Yeah, why not? Because we are back with one of my favorite segments, because I love to spin a good tale. And it's called
How did we get here?
So we're going to take a scenario, occupation, inciting incident, etc., from a TV show or film and imagine what it would be like if we were the characters. And I recently made Hannah and one of our friends Shay watch this film because I'm actually shocked by how few people have actually seen it. Perhaps us talking about it today will urge more people to tune in, but it's one of my favorites since I was growing up in the 90s, and it is called Now and Then.
I am also, honestly, after watching this film, I was also shocked at how few people knew about it because it's such a great film. I'm shocked I had never heard about it until Kay had brought it up to me. But this week we're pretending we're one of the four main characters growing up in the Gaslight District with a group of girlfriends, trying to solve a murder, a mystery of this small town during summer break, and coming back to said town 20 years later as new versions of ourselves. Many great actresses were in this film, such as my personal favorite, Christina Ricci, Thora Birch, Demi Moore, Rumor Willis, Melanie Griffith, Rita Wilson, and Rosie O'Donnell. So, Kay, what role would you play in the friend group? And who are these friends of yours? What mystery would you go on over the summer? And what obstacles may come your way? And who would you become later in life?
Take this from me, please.
Scanning.
Okay, so when I was younger, I was like, well, I'm definitely a teenie for sure, which is played by Thora Birch, because she is definitely the coolest, like outwardly seeming. And spoiler alert, because she becomes a famous actress and looks way more like Hannah than actually she looks like me. However, I was definitely giving fake acceptance speeches in the mirror and thinking I was more sexually mature than I actually was at a very young age. But then when I got older, I realized I was probably more of a Samantha, and it just wasn't like as sexy of a persona, which I feel like is kind of ironic because in Sex and the City, everyone's always like, I'm a Samantha. And that makes people think that you're like, I don't know, sexually promiscuous or something. But anywho, I'm the leader, duh. This will be set in the 90s, duh. And since Devon Sawa was in the original, which I was so obsessed with when I was younger, he was like my hugest crush. But we'll have another one of my crushes, which is Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Instead,
Ooh.
JTT as my love interest. Okay, so I love a competition. So we are going to have a good old fashioned talent show, and we're going to sell tickets to said show, and the audience will vote on which team. So JTT will like have a team of his goons, and then me and my girlfriends will be the other team, obvious. So whoever wins will get all of the money that was put into the tickets. Obviously, my crew will perform as a girl group, choreo and like outfits and stuff, and will kill the competition. Another one will read like a monologue that brings like the audience to tears, like she's like such a good actress or something. Another one might be like a gymnast and she'll do like fucking like circus tricks or something on the stage, and the guys will have like nothing. You know what I
Cirque du
mean?
Soleil over here.
They'll be like spinning like a basketball on their one finger or something. That'll be like a talent, and they'll be like losers. Um, but the big mystery that we are trying to solve in the neighborhood is which one of the kids is adopted. So, to our knowledge, no one is adopted in our little neighborhood. However, we overheard some rumblings at the Catholic Church with some of the gossipy church moms, the judgy ones, which are most of them, honestly. So back in the day, I felt like there was like a trope in media or of like kids thinking they were adopted or saying like jokingly that they must be adopted because they don't like relate to their parents or they don't look like them or whatever. And in the end, we'll find out that my character is actually the one that is adopted. However, we don't realize because for forever we're just looking at everyone else. We're not looking at anyone in our group because it couldn't possibly be one of us, right? And so she should have known when she displayed how much of a star she was at the talent show when both of her parents are just logical simpletons. But she didn't know. And I always say that I don't really look like either of my parents. I kind of honestly look like a mixture, like them smashed together. So I don't have like any of the features of either of them. I have like if their features were laid on top of each other, essentially. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. So I always used to say, like, oh, I must have been adopted or whatever it is. But in the end, my character will realize that her friends are her family just as much as her adoptive parents. So it doesn't need to be blood, even though she is crushed by it in the third act. Can't even, just having tantrums about it. You know what I mean? Wants to run away. But then she's like, it's going to be okay. She meets up with the gals and they have a moment together.
That was cute.
Yeah,
That was a really cute ending to yours. I went a very different route.
shocking.
I want to start this off by saying because Kay just recently showed me this movie for the first time ever. Just wow. I don't know how I've been missing out on this whole thing for my entire life because it's a masterpiece, but I also feel like I related to Teeny a lot because again, as a young child, I was also giving long-winded acceptance, like fake acceptance speeches, either in the mirror or I would be practicing acceptance speeches while I was in the shower. Honestly, I still do that as an adult sometimes.
Why not?
You have to you have to live the delusion. Live the
Sure.
delulu till it comes to true. Anyway,
Manifestation.
it is. Now, if this was my own version of now and then, I feel like I would set it in the early 2000s, kind of like around the time that I was their age, I guess. Like before cell phones were a huge thing, especially in like southwestern Pennsylvania. Nobody was ever really on the internet. We were still outside playing with our friends that we like grew up with on the street. I was outside like riding bikes and shit with all of my friends and making up different like scenarios, and we were just filming ourselves being fucking weird on camcorders. Like, I hope I can find these at some point because I think that'd be
I
hilarious.
know.
And I
We keep
also want to
hearing
show
about
you.
this goddamn camera.
I
We
know.
never see it.
I know. I need to find it. I have to see if my parents still have it. So,
That's what
mom,
she always says.
mom, if you're watching this, can you check and let me know? Thanks. Stay tuned, everybody. I wanted to mix like my childhood growing up with like a horror scenario because I love horror and I love sentimental shit, but I also fucking love horror. And I also just recently watched Final Destination 2 and 3 and it inspired me for this.
Oh, wow. Those don't
So
have Devin in it, though, do they?
they don't. They don't. However, the love interest in mine is Aaron Taylor Johnson, a young Aaron Taylor Johnson. Think like
Oh,
Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging Aaron Taylor Johnson.
yeah. He has an interesting love life.
He, yeah, we're not going to get into that today. Oh, the girls in my crew would take it upon themselves to find a boy, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who was recently kidnapped, who everybody thinks is dead. Because there have been kidnappings going on, but he's the most recent, and this is the first one in their town. They never thought it would make it here. So, for the sake of the story, we're going to say that one of the girls' fathers is the head of the police force. Therefore, they have a little bit of a better, chance of
They got
insider
an in.
information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can sneak
they have
around,
an
get his
in.
keys and shit.
They got the plug. So yeah, exactly. That's basically what they did. They snuck in, they grabbed the paperwork because again, the internet was not that big of a thing then. Um
There were no ring cameras out there. Nobody
fuck
knew.
no, there weren't even like surveillance cameras on light posts yet at that point.
I
It was
mean, I
all for one and
definitely,
one for
I
all.
definitely think there were, but
Shh, not in this
okay,
story.
not in the
Not in
story.
small town. Not in
They don't
small
have the
town where this
technology.
is.
They
They
don't
don't
have
have
the
the
money.
technology.
They
The
don't have the
aliens haven't hit
funding.
there yet.
They don't have the funding.
They are able to like go in, grab the dad's walkies and like the radio and shit, get all the paperwork, make copies of it because they're smart. They're not idiots. Um, so they take it upon themselves to solve this mystery. The girls would get themselves into some sticky situations where they do almost come face to face with this kidnapper. In fact, one of them has come face to face with this kidnapper because she ended up getting taken. So then they have to get her back. But the thing is, they followed the van, so they were able to see where they were going. But I think Anyway, in the end, the girls end up saving the boy, played by the young Aaron Taylor Johnson, and make
Is
a
it
pact.
you? Is it you that saves him? That gets
Yeah,
kidnapped?
I don't get kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of the ones to
I
get
thought that
saved.
maybe who gets kidnapped, then they're in there, right? And so then they can like get the guy out with themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to change my story now. I like that scenario better.
It seems cooler
It
because you're like, oh my
does.
God, this is so
And then
scary for her. And then she's
and then
like,
she's the
oh,
hero.
yeah,
Yeah, I like
as it
that.
should
Okay.
be.
Exactly. So anyway, these girls make a pact to never ever lose touch with each other, no matter how far they go, because if they can solve this together, they can do anything together.
Did they become crime solvers after that?
Yeah, they were awarded.
Maybe they have a podcast about crime.
I think 20 years later they do.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They help solve mystery cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, as any listener of the pod knows, we love a game.
So now that we are nice and tipsy or
Toasty.
toasty, whatever, yeah, sure. Today we will be introing. Oh, if it's not on the paper, I don't know what it is. Okay. Today we. All I can smell is this guac coming loud.
Bro, you need to speak.
I know. Is that what we're doing here?
Yes, bitch. And then we're eating. Get through the talking part. And then we will eat.
And then we're eating. Okay.
This is the joint that killed you last time, I think.
I think so too.
You know why?
No.
Look at your fucking eyes, bro.
Oh no. Okay.
That's for the blooper reel.
I'm
really
trying to open them. Okay. Okay. Today we're gonna be introing a new segment called
Let's Pitch It. In today's segment, we will be trying some treats and some snacks, which you guys can't see right now, which I thought you could for a second, but you can't. And then trying to sell you guys on it. Also,
made a grave error by doing this right before now.
Yeah,
But so
you know
this should
what?
be interesting. Don't judge us. You would buy this no matter what.
Yeah, honestly, shit's delicious. We haven't tasted it yet, but I know it looks delicious, so it better taste delicious. Also, we're gonna see where we could see this food fitting in a film or TV show scenario.
Yeah. So my background is actually in marketing and sales. So when it comes to the business of writing, I absolutely get off on pitching people things in a fun and interesting way. Also, my friends always joke that every time I eat something new, they feel like they're like watching QVC or one of my favorite shows from 2022.
It's actually like that.
I'm selling you. I'm pitching it. So also, and I love that for you, which was a Showtime show. Bring it back, Showtime. What are you doing? Food plays like a big part in that show, or not food. I'm sorry. Back to the QVC thing. In that show, they are trying to sell you on things. Molly Shannon's character, and then one of the other characters, and that's like the whole shebang of the show. Anyways, food plays a huge part in TV and film, whether that be to tell us something about a character, to bond a relationship, or to show someone's mental state, even sometimes. So, are we ready to eat?
I have the munchies, dude. I need to eat.
Well, here we go. So we're going to pick one of these things. We'll show it to you first. So since we showed you our Del Taco things earlier, so Del Taco has this new thing. They're funnel cake fries, which you will see when we take one out and we put it into our mouths. But we're going to pitch you on this. Okay. Interesting. Don't. Oh, I'm trying to pitch you, so I almost.
Oh,
said
you're trying to pitch me?
No. I'm
Oh.
talking to them. I was about to say this doesn't look the most appetizing, but then I realized that I've tried to.
I mean, it looks like a mini taquito with like churro taquito.
Well, if I had to say something nice about it, it is very nicely fried. It seems to be a nice crisp state, not soggy like often when you get fries at a fast food restaurant. So here we go. Oh,
That's delightful.
It reminds me of those Burger King. Remember those like things you used to dip French toast?
It's like a cloud in my mouth.
It's got a nice toasty shell on the outside.
But soft and
While still
pillowy
be
on the inside.
yeah, while still be very nicely to bite into. I was expecting to
Mhm.
crack my tooth off by the way that I'm feeling it in my hand, but it really surprises you. And what would you want
Mm.
more in a food than a surprise?
Honestly, very nice flavor too. It's
Ooh,
light and airy.
the end.
Mhm.
It's the end that I'm
Good.
tasting now.
Oh, and the ends are crunchy, which I like. Mhm.
What is a
Mhm.
funnel cake? This
Yeah,
will make you feel like you're right at the carnival.
without actually having to go and risk dying on a ride.
You don't have to see any of the carnies if you don't want to.
Nope.
You can just go through the drive-through at Del Taco, get these for $1 something. I'm pretty sure they're under the $2 mark.
I think they are. I think they were a dollar
These would
79.
You can also dip them in things, many
Mhm.
things. Perhaps some kids in a show like On My Block, they come and they get these and they create like a chamoy kind. They sell it to the kids in the neighborhood, you know, make it authentically theirs. Because I feel like this is a dipper. Maybe somebody has a fondue party
Ooh,
in a
with
film.
chocolate.
Yeah, they dip these in there
Mhm.
and they tell people that they're from France and
Mm.
that because they're trying to impress these people, right? And that they ship them across seas or something. But really, they got them from Del Taco.
It's beautiful French pastry.
Show everybody what it is first.
Okay, it is a strawberry soft cake. This looks delicious.
It's so gorge. Wow. Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at this inside. Broke just right in half. Very moist,
Beautiful.
very smooth. Nice, cute packaging. Oh,
Easy
comes
to
off
take
very
out.
easy. Oh, look at this. No mess.
No, no mess. Not much left.
Nope. Didn't waste.
No.
Didn't waste a bunch of it. All
Oh,
right.
it smells delightful.
Oh, wow. On a strawberry field
Mmm.
out there with the plants. That bite just
Mmm.
came right off. You know what I mean?
Also so light and airy.
But
Fluffy.
dense at
Yeah.
the same time.
Really like nice hint of like vanilla and strawberry.
I literally feel like I'm having like a strawberry shortcake, but like in a cake without the
Mm.
actual strawberries and whipped cream.
I could see someone eating this on like a vacation in Italy in the
Yeah.
morning, overlooking like the ocean.
Or perhaps they crack it in half and share it with a lover
Mm-hmm.
while looking at the ocean.
Mm.
Their little breakfast, they have their little cappuccinos,
Yeah,
the tiny little
or a little
things,
sunset with some wine.
a little dessert
Mm-hmm.
before the dessert. You know?
All right. An aphrodisiac.
I mean, I'm horny. Are you? No?
Everyone knows what to feed Kay.
You gotta get out from the bakery in San Diego. I mean, I stand by what I said. It's from that same bakery. We should name it though.
I know, but which
What is it? It's on the front of the thing.
No,
It says Paris baguette.
oh. Okay, well, it's a Paris baguette. Ooh, is this like lemon filling?
There is custard in this. Can you just crack me off like a little bit or something? Well, I guess you could crack it in half and we could finish it in a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Everyone knows that I'm a very ooh. Plenty of cream. Twist it. This bread, wow.
Ooh.
Very glazed,
Yeah.
but like not in a sticky way, just
Yeah,
in
it's
like
not like a sticky bread. It's just like
it's like a cake bread. Okay.
mm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
I can't tell if I still have some of the last one in my mouth or
This is delicious.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's just like
The cream.
yeah.
It's very light. You know when you get like a custard donut and the cream sometimes is a little too much, you still like it, but like it's the best.
Yeah,
Very
this
light,
is like
pillowy.
mm,
Mm. It's real custard too. It doesn't look like syrup.
no, it's nice. It's like a thick, but not too thick.
And it's not too sweet.
No. Great flavor.
I picture this on a playground. Somebody's parent gave this. It's almost like a little empanada, really. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like gave it to them. That's their treat in the morning. Maybe something happens, like when that girl stole my muffin in the story that I told one time.
The poppy seed muffin.
Yep, somebody steals this. Which honestly, this is way better than the poppy seed muffin. I will say that. So you would really want to get in a fight over this.
I'm finishing all of this shit.
You do it. I can't. I'll do it later. I can. I'm a very slow eater. This is like a pistachio donut. It's like filled with pistachio stuff in it.
Yo, and it has pistachios on top of it.
Yeah, it's wild. Okay. I'm scared of it. Ooh, there's like stuff all happening. Ah! Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Be careful. Very messy. Whoa.
Wow.
I feel like I'm eating ice cream, like pistachio ice cream almost, or gelato.
Yeah, it's the filling. I don't know.
Well, it's got to be in some trendy kids film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's got to be like it's bakery day or something at some kid's school. And then like the cool girl brings all these like really wild donuts or whatever. And she's
Really
like, oh, we
rich
got
girl.
yeah. And then the other girl has like these plain donuts that her and her mom made like in her kitchen. And she's all embarrassed because she got like voodoo donuts or some shit. So that's what this pistachio one's going into.
Or like a baking competition.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great British Bake Off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I made some homemade guac. Can't really see it in here because if I flip it over, the thing will come flying out. And then we have these habanero Tostitos chips, which are very good.
I haven't had these yet.
Oh, it's new for you. Ready? Jesus. Cheers. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh,
It's changing.
the flavor keeps building.
It's changing around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love the hand motions. Like that UFO we saw that one time.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's like
So
a flavor
flavorful.
explosion in your mouth.
Honestly, it keeps going because it's not just the guac. The guac is flavorful on its own. The habanero chips are flavorful on their own. You mix it together. Perfect pairing.
It really is.
Now, I don't know why I'm like in this high school thing, but now I'm like, oh, there's a kid who brings in like the habanero chips and a girl who has, like I said earlier, her abuela's homemade guac. She brings in, she doesn't have any fucking chips. And the only kind that they have up there are like potato chips. She can't have that.
No, you can't have that with guac. I mean, you can, but it's not going to taste
You
as good.
better not do that. You better not do that. But then the kid comes and says, oh my God, I have some and I forgot my salsa at home. And so they share it and they feed each other like this. Look at that.
What the fuck was that?
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Adorable.
Yeah.
I guess I could.
Habanero. Crispy chicken tacos.
From Del Teasy.
Del Taco. You ready?
Cheers.
The happy dance.
They're a better version of what are those things called from McDonald's? They don't sell them anymore.
The chicken wraps.
But weren't they called something else? They were called chicken wraps.
I think so.
No way. A McDonald's name?
A McChicken wrap.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. But they remind me of those. Snack wrap, dude. It was a snack wrap. Yeah. We keep saying wrap, wrap, wrap. Don't even get it. All right, you want some snack wrap? They're better though. The chicken piece is bigger. It's got more actual chicken in it. It's healthier for the kids.
It has
You
more
know,
flavor.
yeah, way more flavor. The lettuce is much fresher than those other fast food restaurants. Plenty of cheese, plenty of dairy for the kids. You know.
Oh,
You just hit your face on there, you idiot.
my ear.
Okay, that's a little better. I thought it was your teeth or something.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
okay,
It was my ear.
it was just my ear. Yeah, it's I don't even know. You could use this in whatever you want. Like this is a masterpiece. This is like the bros going to a football game or something, and they don't know what to eat, and they're like, "What do we get, man? We better get these before we go out and drink all night. We'll soak it up,
Fuel up.
bro." I don't know what guys do. So we always say we love to end on a positive note, but with me, we just love to end on anything that has to do with me, which is what this episode is all about. And since I am all razzed up at this point, it is time, at this point in the show, it's time for
Let's rave about it.
In future episodes, we may talk about a topic or situation pertaining to the industry in some way. It can even be a new show that we are gagged over.
But today, Kay is going to rave about birthdays past, her favorite memories from birth to current day. So,
Not every year, though.
no, not every year, but her favorites. It's okay. Why don't you tell us?
I will tell you if I'm doing there's hair all over my mouth. Okay. So let's paint the picture and go back to September 27. I won't say the year for any of you ages, but I grew up in the 90s, so you do whatever you want to do with that. So not to be a downer, but any listener of the pod knows that my childhood wasn't always the best. I had a lot of shit I had to process later in life. But one time of the year that my parents really showed up for me was my birthdays. So I'm an only, and my parents were never married and refused to spend any time together because they didn't like each other very much, which meant that I had several birthday parties everywhere. So in many different locations. So I would always have like one of my dad's family, one with my friends from school or something, one with my mom's family, and then later just one with my mom and eventually my stepdad and possibly his family as well. So there were always these like all out celebrations, and I got a trillion gifts because I obviously was like having all these different fucking parties. And each one was a different kind of celebration or theme. So that was exciting because then I got to have a bunch of different stuff with different characters, if you will. So my mom's best friend, Ricky, managed a gay bar and later owned another one in Grand Rapids. So he had all this stuff for like theme parties he would throw and let me like raid the collection and take whatever I wanted from the bar for like any of my birthdays. And often the drag queens would help me figure out like which looks to do. And my mom would do like, was huge on everything matching. So she would always get like things that looked very aesthetically pleasing together, whether that be the food, whether that be the goodie bags, whether that be like what people are wearing or how the place is decorated or whatever. She went all out, even on a budget. So now, as an adult, I celebrate usually for a week straight, if not more, with a smattering of activities similar to when I was growing up. And I treat myself to like new clothes and trips with friends, anything I want in September. I'll probably get, which is very dangerous for me, as September is fastly approaching. And when this comes out, it will be September. So I'll be having a lot of buyer's remorse, I'm sure. So it reminds me, obviously, all of this is just reminding me of the good times that I had as a kid in different ways. Since, being an adult or whatever, I've had so many memorable birthdays, but I'll just start with like the LA years. So we cut a lot of the other stuff. So in my 20s here, Besides a wild trip to Vegas the first year that I was here. Most were just at like cute bars or something like that where I got too drunk at a, and would force people to dress in red or even gold for my 25th, my golden birthday, which actually was at the Riff. And fun fact, our
Yeah.
friends Dan and Fish DJ'd this, and I think Hannah came to it without knowing me at the time.
Correct.
So I didn't know her either. So, I mean, I like had seen her at that bar particularly, but
Yeah.
we didn't know each other. But yeah, so Hannah was in attendance before we were ever even friends.
That's so crazy.
I know it is very wild. But then for my 30th, I had a double quinceanera, a double quinceanera. And we went to Vegas and I went to Santee Alley and I got like a legit quinceanera dress. Like it was fucking ginormous. And I got a tiara and everything. And I wore it and walked around in Vegas with it on. And then I made everyone else wear like really nice red dresses that were in my court. Me and Braxton did a dance to like Senorita while we were there. And we all stayed in this like big, I don't know, penthouse or something like at the MGM. And lots of wild shit happened. I ended up getting in a very tragic escalator accident there where I got a concussion and broke several of my bones. And, after getting up from the thing, was just wondering where our Uber was. It didn't go to the hospital, nothing. Woke up looking like I got hit by a fucking truck and I was throwing up all night from the concussion. So yeah, that was wild. I did try to sue. It didn't end up working out. But yeah, basically a guy who was like in this wheelie thing was going up the escalator and he fell towards the top with his wheelie thing because he wasn't holding onto the things on the side. And so then he did it like tumbled down and then all the other people domino effect tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. And then nobody shut the thing off. So we all just kept tumbling around. There were credit cards and everybody's belongings were flying past our heads and banging around. And then finally we got to the top and luckily did not get scalped. But anyways, that was my double quince. Very memorable. Um, and then the first birthday that I had with Hannah was actually the Broch Olympics, I called it, because it was a series of different games that we would all do. We'd had two
Yeah.
teams. We play like drinking games, but then also like yard games. And then we even had a lip sync battle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our
Where
team won.
Yep, my team won. I won it for us. I broke the bear.
Mm-hmm.
I broke the bear. Remember?
Oh
I
my
still
God,
have.
throwback. You broke the bear. You also fucking wrecked your nipple from that shirt.
Yeah, but that was during. Oh yeah, we had trivia too, and I wore
Yeah.
this like wild chain link shirt that like my nipple was bleeding because I didn't
That was
wear
the
the
start of
proper.
the bear because you picked it up that day. And then the next day you
Oh
broke it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was meant to be. I didn't get charged for the bear though. Thank you very much.
Yes, true.
But that was really fun. We did a boat situation at Big Bear as well. And then we did the Joshua Tree Women's
Mm-hmm.
Retreat, as I like to call it. It was a bunch of us ladies at this really cool, like Joshua Tree place where we
It was
lost
so cute.
power the second night. And then we like,
Made a whole horror story about it. And then we did a seance. Didn't we do
yeah,
a seance with
yeah, for the
candles?
to the moon or some shit. I don't
Yeah.
even.
We didn't know we did a moon ritual. That's
Yeah, it
right.
was a moon ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I knew we were looking at the moon. I didn't know what exactly we were doing.
Yeah.
But that was really cute. We took some pretty wild pictures there. The place was so adorable.
That was awesome.
Oh, and I had a Britney theme. I almost forgot that.
Yeah.
So I had a Britney theme. And you were like one of the performance outfits where she's wearing like the
Pink tube top,
yeah, the white
bottoms,
pants.
white shoes.
I was slave for you, Brittany. But yeah, that was a really nice way for all of those ladies that I love to get together and get to know each other and, you know, feel good about the pussy power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then last year, brings us up to last year. We went to Mexico. We went to Cabo with my roommate Braxton. We were like the three fucking amigos there.
It was the greatest trip of all time.
Honestly,
Truthfully,
very memorable.
the greatest trip.
Yeah, we went on a boat, we went out, we met like some locals and stuff, went out to an after hours with them. That's like not even on the Google Maps, probably very dangerous, but it was fine. We had so much fun, and we wore a lot of cool outfits, and we were always pretty drunk and eating a lot of great food and dancing around the town.
It's beautiful.
And now we're going to do that again this year.
I can't wait.
I know. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. We will have, and celebrating me. Thanks for celebrating me today. We will have many more Let's stories, love letters, how did we get here? I'm a blank, and let's pitch it in future episodes, along with several other fun-filled segments and guests.
In the meantime, make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram at OCS Productions and let us know which segments you love, which segments you hate. We want to know from you because we have much more video content as of late, and we want to interact with you guys.
Yes. Also, please, because it's my birthday, you must do this as a birthday present for me. Click the 5-star button. Go into Spotify right now. Click it. Click the 5 stars. Spotify, Apple, wherever the hell you rate things. And Apple, you can also rate us a review, which would be amazing. And we will catch you next time for more She Said Let's. I'm the fullest human.
Same.